How you doing, guys? Phantom TCG here, and today I'm gonna bring you another deck profile. This is the Eldlich, the one, the only, the golden boy. Super very annoying, to be honest. I really wanted to bring you this deck profile as soon as possible. I'm proxying only one card and using another card as a substitution for an Ash Blossom, using Effect Veiler since my Ash Blossoms haven't arrived on the mail. Same thing with the proxies I ordered, and I have to give a big shout out to one of my friends, Emma, for actually he lent me a couple of cards. For example, the Golden Lords and some pot of extravagances, since I ordered mine and they haven't arrived yet. And it's been like 2 weeks since I ordered them, and I'm not going to be waiting for them. So, I play tested this deck like I always do to bring you my experience with the deck and all the stuff. I play against Dogmatika super easy matchup. Dogmatic Invoke, pretty easy too. Ray Raptors, if they manage to summon the big dude, the Kaliug, if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be a pain in the ass, so you're probably gonna be losing unless you win the dice. Let's see what else. I think those are all the decks I play against. But yeah, to be honest, this is a very entertaining deck, to be honest. Since your trap cards basically flow during the end phase, they turn into monsters, they bring back the Golden Lord and stuff. And I'm still, like I said, I'm missing a couple of cards here and there, but I actually build this deck online, play test it a couple of times, and then build it in physically. Since obviously we're still in quarantine, it's super hard to play a physical game with someone. Since I hate remote duels. Now, this deck is pretty much a little bit accessible. Some of the cards went up in price. For example, the Curse of Eldland, they were like $5 each, and now they're like $22. Same thing with the spell that searches him from the deck. That's not my favorite card. And I'll give some things here. I'll say a couple of things here and there with that card. The extra deck is a little bit more accessible now. And some of the cards in the main deck you can use something else. Like I always do, I'll put the deck profile in the description, so you don't have to watch the entire video. But if you want to hear my experience with the deck and some of the plays you can do and some actual interaction that I have or my experience with the deck, feel free to stay and watch the entire video. It really supports the channel. And without further ado, let's get started with the deck profile. Now, starting off with the monsters, we're playing a very limited amount of monsters. Obviously, we're playing the main guy on the deck. We're playing Eldlich, the Golden Lord. This guy right here is your main monster, your main beast deck, and the one that's going to be doing a lot of the work. He's a very big buffy dude. It's a 25 attack, 28 defense. His effect, he has two, one in hand and one in graveyard. The one in the hand, you can discard him and one other spell card, and you do tar one card in the field and send it to the graveyard. This can get rid of a lot of back row problems if you know what they set. And some monsters, in case your opponent summons, for example, double A Seus, you can just basically use the effect, get rid of the Seus before doing all your other plays. The other effects in the graveyard, you mainly want to see him in the graveyard. So basically, it's gonna be very fun, since a lot of people don't know how the card works, and it's a very weird card. Is that you can send one face-up spell and trap card from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, then add one zombie monster from your graveyard to the hand, and if you do, you can special summon one zombie monster. That turn until your opponent's end phase, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and it gains one stack. So basically, this dude right here can turn into a 35 attack and a 38 defense, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So it's gonna be a very hard card to get rid. And once it gets in the graveyard, it's going to be a very good thing, since you sometimes want him in the graveyard to do the effect, so you can swing for a 38 attack. Now, I will explain a couple of cards later when we get to the trap cards. Now, we're playing more hand traps than we usually play. Well, not really, but I'm playing 3 effect veilers. This is supposed to be ash blossoms. Like I said, my ash blossoms haven't arrived on the mail. But this card, if you are on a budget or you don't have access to ash blossoms, effect veilers is a very good card, to be honest. Not like ash blossoms, since you can play ash blossom to negate a couple of other cards, but effect veiler, as of now, will fill that spot until my ash blossoms arrive. Now, the other cards that are very, very good in this deck, we're playing the 3 PSI frame gammas and the 1 driver. This can stop a lot of your monsters. You're not gonna be using it during your turn. It's very rarely that you actually do that. But in case you do, you're just gonna be sent to the graveyard. Since I am not playing Omega, but you can play Omega if you want, and you have the extra space, since you will have that extra space. So it's up to you. It's up to personal preference. I should get my hands on a space, get rid of something in my extra deck, but as of now, I mainly use this card during my opponent's turn just to get rid of 1 card on the field. Any combo based guy that actually starts to do a lot of stuff. PSI frame gamma is going to deal with that. Now, for the spell cards, we're playing 10, if I am not mistaken, 10 or 9. So the main card that you really want to see in your hand is Curse of Eldland. Like I said, I'm proxying the 3rd one since it hasn't arrived in the mail. So this card right here is basically the searcher of your entire deck or your entire archetype. When this card is on the field, you can pay 100 life points. Add 1 Eldlich, basically the Golden Boys, the only monster in the main deck, or 1 Golden Land spell and trap card from your deck to your hand, obviously. And this card sent from the spell and trap cards onto the graveyard. You can send 1 Eldritch monster or 1 Golden Lord spell and trap card from your deck to the graveyard. This card can set a lot of stuff. If you're going first, you have this and the Golden Lord. You can pay 800, search for a trap card. Use the Golden Lord, discard him and the trap card you search to destroy Curse of Eldland, and then use Curse of Eldland to ditch another card. The other effect, I really doesn't matter that much. You cannot declare attack except only with zombie monsters. That's basically it, the entire card. Next, I'm playing 3 copies of Elixir of White Destiny. This is basically one of my favorite cards since it's a quick play spell card. Has 2 effects. The one that you activate is you can special summon 1 zombie monster, but if you control no Eldritch, basically summon Golden Boy from your hand or graveyard. So you can just revive him. You can revive him during the battle phase and swing. In case you have to crash, you can use Elixir of White Destiny, revive him, and then swing once again. The other effect is in the graveyard. You can only use 1 of both effects once per turn, so this card's in the graveyard. You can banish it and set 1 golden land. Basically, your elixirs are going to set your golden land. Your golden lands are going to set your elixirs. That's basically how the deck goes. Now, I'm not playing the black elixir card, the one that special summon him from the deck. First of all, I really don't see that much play for that card, since it just special summon it from the deck. And the other thing is, once it special summons in defense. Sometimes I really don't want him in defense. I just want to swing, so I have to get rid of a lot of other cards. But if I were to play that card, I will play 1 copy just for an extra name of the elixir, so I can banish it and then search 1 golden land. But as of now, I'm playing 3 of the White Destinies. Next, we're playing 3 Pot of Extravagance, thanks to my friend Emma. That lent me 2 of the collector rares for this deck profile, and to test until the deck arrive, until mines arrive in the mail. The other thing, you don't go into your extract that much, so against Dogmatika it's going to be very, very easy to beat the living shit out of them, since you are not going to have an extra monster zone. Monster that is special summon from the extra deck. Since you're not going to be having a monster special summon from the extra deck unless you're going to OTK your opponent. Really doesn't matter what you banish with Pot of Extravagance. Now, that's it for the spells. 9 spells. You can beat 9. You can beat 10 if you want to play the other card. Now, for the draft cards, we're playing a big bunch of cards, and I'm actually mixing a couple of cards here and there just to test if you want to have for like a budget build for the deck, in case you don't want to spend a lot of money on some cards. We're playing 3 Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. This is basically my favorite, the best Elixir card from the archetype. Especially summon one zombie monster from your deck or graveyard, or if you do not control the Golden Lord, you can special summon Golden Lord instead. So it can special summon from the deck or graveyard, and it's a trap card the same as White Destiny. You can banish it and set directly from your deck one golden land trap card or spell. As of now, we only have trap cards that are the monsters that we are going to go in detail right now. We're playing 3 copies of Haguero. Haguero basically decrows if you control the Golden Lord. If not, it's just a monster. The biggest guy of the monster that you're going to be playing is at 18 attack at 1000 defense, and the other effect is this card's in the graveyard. You can banish this card during the end phase, and then set 1 elixir. That's basically it. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Conquistador of the Golden Lands. Conquistador basically Dryden, just in trap card. This can get rid of a lot of cards that are going to be very problematic. For example, this card. In case your opponent is stalling with Mystic Mine, basically you can just summon your Golden Lord. If you didn't have it in your hand, you just revive him. Use the effect in the graveyard, revive him, do whatever, and you then use Conquistador to destroy 1 face-up card in the field. That's basically the effect of Conquistador. The same thing as Haguero. You can banish this card during the end phase to set 1 elixir. The last 2 cards I'm playing 1 Guardian. It's just an extra name. I really didn't want to play this card, but it comes in clutch sometimes, since it can target 1 card on the field. 1 monster, and its attacks become 0. And the same thing as the other ones. You can banish this card from your graveyard during the end phase. Set 1 elixir from your deck. Now, the other card that is very broken, but we only play once since it's searchable. We're playing 1 Golden Land Forever. It's basically the counter trap. If you control the Eldlich guy, you can just tribute 1 zombie, negate the card, and destroy it. Negates spell trap cards and monster effects that is activated. Basically, that's it for the archetype specific trap cards. Now, for the other cards, this is personal preference, but I feel like this is the best trap cards at the moment. We're playing 3 copies of Judgment. I'm not playing this the Solemn Brigade, since I don't want to be paying a lot of life points with Solemn Judgment. Sorry, with the other cards. Playing two stacks or playing 15 life points. This is kind of a bit whack, since we have Gamma and Solemn Judgment just negate the summons, and that's it, and pays the life points. So in case you have 100 or some weird shit like that, you can just Solemn Judgment and don't lose the game. Next, we're playing 3 Dogmatic Punishment. This is a card I saw play in OCG. Since you don't go that much into your extra deck, you can just basically use Punishment and pop 1 monster that's going to be very annoying. Obviously, you can ditch another card from your extra deck and start doing a lot of other stuff. Next, the other card, this is supposed to be impermanence, but since I lent my impermanence to one of my friends so he can play test Dogmatic Punishment, I'm playing triple breakthrough skill. This card is very good, to be honest, in this deck. I didn't expect to be used that like that well with this deck, since sometimes you want to use the effect of the Golden Lord, so you can just send this card to your graveyard and it's not dead. Obviously, it basically works the same way as infinite impermanence. Well, obviously, it does not negate the card in the same column, but it negates a monster effect. Except, well, this card is in the graveyards. If this card is in the graveyard during your turn, except the turn it was sent there, you can just banish it and negate the effect of a monster. This card can bait a lot of stuff. Your opponent can easily forget about this card, and to be honest, I don't regret playing this card. So if you don't have access to infinite impermanence, Breakthrough Skill will be a very good card. And obviously with this gold rarity and the Golden Lord, makes very good sense. Now we're playing the one fucked up Skill Drain. Really doesn't matter. Your trap monster basically are vanilla monsters. They still count as trap cards, so it really doesn't matter that much. This is the only card besides Solemn Judgment that you have to pay life points. And if you have this card, basically insta win in a way, since your opponent can't do dipshit, and you can just keep swinging with 35 each turn or some weird shit like that. That's it for the main deck, 40 cards. Now for the extra deck, it's off to personal preference, but the cards that you really, I feel like you need are Costellar, Pleades. I'm playing 2 copies. 3 I feel is too much. Sometimes this guy gets banished, so I have to rely on my other backup plan, since it's Volcasaurus. This guy can win me a lot of games, and have won me a couple of games, to be honest. Since you can detach, pop a monster on your opponent's field, and then burn them for the attack they have. And then you can just, on top of that, you can just Gaia summon the Thunder Charge and just basically go for the game. The other card that can be used a lot for OTKing is Superdreadnought Real Gustav Max. Basically, 2 Golden Lords, detach 1, burn 2 stacks. It's very good, to be honest. I only play 1 since I don't have that extra space. Sometimes it gets banished with Pod, but really doesn't matter that much, since you probably have the game in a very control. You have the game in your hands, basically. Next, we're playing the targets for the Dogmatic Punishment. I'm playing 2 Wind Pegasus that come in clutch a lot, to be honest. Since your opponent sometimes just destroys your trap monsters, you can just use Ignister and shuffle something back into the deck. And then the other target is 2 Ints. Self-explanatory, I'm not gonna go in details. Next, if I'm playing against Dogmatika, if they summon Maximus, just to be sure, I'm playing 2 Novas and 2 Invoke Mechabus. Self-explanatory, it's just an extra monster. It comes like 1 time from my testings. It came in 1 time, since they just summon Maximus, use the effect. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, just ditch, add in Mr. Pegasus and 1 Nova. So if you don't really have to get rid of the Maximus on your opponent's field, since it will give you more advantage just destroying more cards and using this card for protection, or you can just ditch the other Nova, summon another Mechava for free. And next we're playing some random cards. To be honest, this can be something else. I'm playing 1 Hit Potion again, just in case I want to OTK my opponent. It came in like 2 times where I used 1 of my trap cards, 1 Conquistador and 1 of the Golden Lord. Send it to our graveyard, then use Golden Lord's effect to special summon him, and he had 4 stacks. Basically 40k attack, and cannot be destroyed by card effects, since Hit Potion again increases the attack of him by 500. So yeah, if he gets destroyed, basically search, I don't know, Gamma for some weird shit, in case you need something. You can target 1 light monster in your graveyard, you can just add it to your hand. So it comes in clutch a lot of the times. And then I'm playing 1 Link Spider just to center in case I need 1 Elixir as fast as possible, and I open a trap card and my opponent does not kill it. I can just link it away, use Link Spider, then during my end phase just banish that trap card and set 1 Elixir. So that's basically it for the entire deck. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and found this video helpful. In case you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe. Hit the like button, and yeah, peace. Thanks for watching.